Welcome dear viewers. Today I will show you how we can read a chart and make wonderful predictions with the help of Bhrigu Nandi Nadi. And I am talking about Shri R.G. Rao's Bhrigu Nandi Nadi. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then please do subscribe. So friends, you can see this is a birth chart. And today we will see how, with the help of the progression of Jupiter, yes, Jupiter's progression, that is the natal Jupiter is in the 10th house. So Jupiter will now, we believe that Jupiter will progress, will make progress from one sign to another. Jupiter stays in one house for 12 years. Now friends, there is a video on basic rules of Nadi Jyotish in my playlist. Please do check that. Then in my playlist on Nadi Jyotish in English, there are two more videos on how to read a chart, part 1 and part 2. This is part 3. So please watch those videos also. Okay, please go to my playlist and watch. Now friends, you see, Jupiter, we know that will stay in one sign for 1 year. There are 12 zodiac signs. So 12 years Jupiter will require to make one full round. Yes, complete one full round. That is the first round. In the after 12 years, Jupiter will go to the second house, second from this house. There again Jupiter will stay for 12 years. Then again here Jupiter will stay for 12 years in the house ruled by Pisces, and so on. Okay. So in the first house 12 years. So let us look at the first round of Jupiter. What certain events, whatever can happen, what we can predict. Okay. Let's see. Now say Jupiter is in this house ruled by Capricorn. In this sign of Capricorn, Jupiter will stay for 1 year. Around 1 year. So 2 years when the native will be here, he will be around 2 years in Aquarius. In Pisces, 3 years. So when the native will be of 3 years of age, then the native will reach Pisces. I mean Jupiter. Jupiter is the Karaka of the native. When Jupiter will reach Pisces, the native will be around 3 years of age. Now here it is not good for Jupiter. Why? There may be some accidents and all, and the native may suffer from some wounds. Why? Because he may get some wound, he may hurt himself, because Mars is retrograde in the first house, and we believe that retrograde Mars is very powerful, almost 3 times more powerful than directional Mars. So Mars is now, we believe that in Nadi Jyotish, that Mars is 50% Mars's aspect is falling in this house, and 50% aspect is falling in the house which is 12th from Mars. So in that house that is 12th from Mars, there also Mars's 50% aspect will be there. Okay. So Mars is also the significator of blood, of fights, and also of even accidents and injuries and wounds. So when the natal Jupiter will transit over Pisces, then there is a possibility. And this is the chart of a native actually, and he really got certain wounds. He met with an accident. So when he was 3 years old, and there were certain wounds on his body. Now when the native will be around 4 years, then Jupiter will reach here, the sign of Aries. Here Mars, retrograde Mars is sitting there. That means here also there should be risk. Yes, the risk of some accident or injury. But strangely enough, when the natal Jupiter reached the sign of Aries at the age of 4 years, the native, nothing happened. That is say around from 4 to 5 years. Nothing happened to the native. Why? Can you say? Because in the 7th house from the first house, we have 2 planets. What are those 2 planets? Saturn and Mercury. Saturn and Mercury, they are very good friends, and they are great enemies of Mars. They are great enemies to Mars. And so both of them will directly aspect Mars. Their 7th aspect will go to Mars. Yes, there will be a direct aspect, and so Mars will become weak. and Mars will become weak. And so when the natal Jupiter will transit over this Mars, then the native will not have to face any sort of accident, and the native will be saved from all kinds of injury and wounds. So this actually happened. So the native was saved because of the aspect of Saturn and Mercury. Then this is 4 years. Then the native will be 5 years, he'll reach Taurus. The Jupiter's transit will reach here. Then Jupiter will reach the sign of Gemini. And at that time the native will be around 6 years of age. When the Jupiter will be here, the native will be around 6 years. Whenever the natal Jupiter transits over Rahu, then the native will definitely have some health problem. Rahu gives health problems. Now, there could be any kind of gastric problems, gastric disorders or troubles, or there can be, you can say, this stomach problems, and also there can be breathing problems. Why? Because Jupiter is breath or oxygen and Rahu is obstruction. So the native may suffer from any kind of breathing problem, breathing disorder, respiratory system disorder. So actually the native had some severe gastric trouble, and he was under medication, and then he recovered. So this happened at the age of 6 years. Now let us move further. 7 years Cancer sign, 8 years Leo, 9 years. When the native will be around 9 years, then Jupiter will reach here, Virgo. Now this is also not good for Jupiter. Why, can you tell me? Because you see, in this house what is happening? Sun and Venus, they are enemies. And Venus is also debilitated. Venus is in Virgo. That means Venus is debilitated. So that is now not going to be good. Both two enemy planets and one planet is debilitated, is in debilitation. And also this sign of Virgo is the significator of well, deep well. So now there is an indication of some risk of drowning. The native may get drowned, maybe in the river, or maybe he may fall into the well and get drowned. Anything, some problem may happen. He may, there is some risk of drowning, he may get drowned. But the native fell into the water. Yes, this is the chart of a native. He fell into the water, but he was saved. Why he was saved, can you tell me? Because you look carefully, friends, there is a Parivartan Yoga between Venus and Mercury. Between Venus and Mercury there is a Parivartan Yoga. Venus is in the sign of Mercury, Virgo is the sign of exaltation of Mercury, and Libra is Venus's own sign. So Venus is in Virgo. Virgo is Mercury's sign, and Mercury is in Libra. Libra is Venus's sign. So there is a mutual exchange of zodiac signs. So this is called mutual exchange between planets, or this is called Parivartan Yoga, which is very powerful. In Nadi Jyotish, it is so powerful that we believe that whenever there is a Parivartan between two planets, the planets behave like each other. Venus will behave also like Mercury, and Mercury also will behave like Venus. So Venus will also be Venus to some extent, definitely, because naturally it is Venus. But Venus will also have the power to behave like Mercury. And Mercury will have the power to be like Venus whenever the situation arises, whenever it is required. That is, in any time of crisis, they will do that. Why? Because friends, planets actually, they always help us. We don't realize, we are afraid of planets, but actually it is not so. They are always there to help us. So that is why we should also know how to derive the results or fruit from them. Okay? So you see, because now Venus will behave like Mercury, and Mercury gets exalted in Virgo, This is now Virgo. Mercury gets exalted. Mercury and Sun. Now if Venus is behaving like Mercury, Mercury and Sun, they are not enemies. They are like they are friends only, you can say. Mercury and enemy are friends. Yeah. So what will happen now? According to some books, Mercury and enemy, they are neutral, but they are not enemies. Either you can say neutral or you can say friends. So now Mercury also gets exalted here because Venus is behaving like Mercury. So now there is no risk. But yeah, but Venus was there originally, no? That is why the native fell into the water. But because now Venus has the power to behave like Mercury, the native also was saved. Yes, he was saved from drowning and his life was saved. Okay. So friends, again we see when, this is the age of 9 years. And at the age of 10 years also, the native will reach, at the age of 10 years, the native will reach here. Because Jupiter will reach the sign of Libra. And the native will be around 10 years of age. Here also it is not considered to be good for the native. Why? Because Libra is the house ruled by Venus. And where is the sign lord? That is the house lord. Who is the house lord? House lord is Venus. House lord Venus is sitting 12th from the 7th house. Because it is sitting in the 6th house. That is also not a good sign. That is inauspicious. Because 12th, sitting 12th house is again the house of loss. It could be any kind of loss, any kind of, any kind of trouble, any kind of loss, any kind of isolation is seen from the 12th house. Yes. So, what will happen now? Because this transit is, Jupiter is transiting over Libra. Now again there can be a problem because the Lord is in the 12th house. So again there could be any kind of loss of blood or anything, loss of health or anything. But the native was saved. He was safe and secure. When he was 10 years old, 10 or 10 and a half years, he was safe. Nothing happened. Why? Because of this Parivartan Yoga. Because now Mercury has the capability to behave like Venus. So now we can say that the Lord of the 7th house is also present in the 7th house because Mercury is behaving like Venus. So the Lord of the 7th house is also present in the 7th house. So, and is always now there to protect the native because the Lord of this house is sitting there. Because Mercury is now behaving like Venus due to the mutual exchange or Parivartan Yoga. And so the native was safe and secure and nothing untoward or there was nothing untoward happened and he was safe and secure and all risk and all dangers or threats to his life, they got cancelled. So friends, this is how we can read a chart. If you have liked this video, please do subscribe and share this video. Thank you so much.